today, since we're on the topic of awards show, I wanted to show you guys the voting. So I'm going to show you guys on the back end. This is what people voted for straight the fuck up. Like there's no changes. The voting stopped at 1 p.m. I think, or 1:23 p.m. or some on Wednesday. This was exactly how you guys voted. So you ready for this? I'm stoked to share this with you guys because some of them are funny. Did you know that 82% of you aren't fucking subscribed? Hit the button. Why do you hate things? Have fun. All right, so this is exactly what I took how you guys voted from. This is the form. Here are your responses. Fully transparent. So starting with breakdown of the year. This was so close the entire time. Spirit Box, 24.4% with Cellar Door. 15,000. Knocked Loose. You guys don't understand. They were going back and forth nonstop. And then Wednesday, Spirit Box got a little boost. They were so close. Knock Loose, I thought, was actually going to win it. And then everyone else, basically, like I said, Plot and You, they went with it. They were number 3. Jaluka Venom, again, for a new band that kind of came out of nowhere, they fucking crushed it. Brand of Sacrifice Dynasty is right there, too. Alt got a little lower. Code Orange a little lower. The Browning, I thought that's one of my favorite best breakdowns of the year. A little lower. Acacia Strain a little lower. Man's Last Breath around there. Unprocessed, I thought this was one of the coolest ones, too. 3.2, Chelsea Grin 5%. So that's the distribution. Out of the 73,000 votes, this one had 74,000 or 64,000 of people that voted. Okay, ready? Next, what is this one? Animal Noise of the Year. This was kind of a wash. That's Alex. It's hard to beat the like an actual alligator noise. It's, you know. And then Ice Nine Kills did very well as well. And then everything else was a bit more equalized here. Greystone, fucking hell, thanks guys for voting. Signs of the Swarm. I actually thought Signs of the Swarm was going to be number 1, if not at least number 2. I think they have the coolest one. And then Left to Suffer Disappoint Me at 5. We have fucking hell, people voted like way too much. If number 6 was technically Little Uzi Vert CS. I almost wish you guys voted more for it just so I could have included it in the show. A Worm Shepherd was funny as fuck. That should have been up there. Mental Cruelty too. Project Vengeance, and then Tala. Oh, it was Tala and Left to Suffer that was really close. These two were off by like 20 votes. They were so close. Next up, Guitarist of the Year. This was actually pretty competitive for most of it. This was very competitive. Mike got 17.4% of the votes. And then, yeah, this is a nice pie. Avenged over there. Chris Wiseman over there. Periphery Boys. Invent Anime. Then we have like Chris Broderick. Nita Strauss got a lot too. Josh Middleton. Drummer of the Year. Just, yeah. Ellis Spadaro was right there. Chris Turner was right there. This is like, I don't know what you want. He's good. I'm biased. I wanted Chris Turner to win. He's in my project too. I think Chris Turner is the best modern metal drummer. Done. It was going for a while, and then Sleep Token overturned it pretty intensely. Max Portnoy did very well as well. He did that. He would have actually been number 6, and then number 7 would have been Gaiku from Crystal Lake. Oh, Buster was here 10%. Yeah, Buster is amazing too. Vocalist of the Year. This was intense for most of it. It was very intense between Sleep Token and Spirit Box Courtney. And then Sleep Token, again, just over time, kind of like creeped up and Vessel won it. It was pretty fun to watch. And then Alex Terrible, Ollie Sykes, and then Andy's right there. Tom Barber's right below Andy by 40 votes, for fuck's sake. Some of the slots were so close. Garrett Russell was right there, too. Corpse Grinder, a lot of people voted for, too. Cheney's amazing. You guys should have voted more for Cheney. What the fuck, yo? And then poor Eddie from Suicide Silence, not that much. Rio from Crystal Lake, or from Gnosis. Brian Garris, Brand of Sacrifice. There we go. Bassist of the Year. CPU was, I think, top 4 for a while. I'm not even lying. CPU is right here. Metallica kind of boosted out of nowhere. It's weird because they didn't even share it. But Danny Helser was actually was winning this, and then Metallica homie came up, and then CPU kind of went down and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. But Danny actually was winning, which was really cool. And then Amos from Tesseract, Job for a Cowboy Nick was really close as well, and then Alicia from Dragon Force. Angriest Song of the Year. Knock Loose kind of just fucking owned it. I'm going to be real. Knocked Loose was ahead the whole time. They just took it and ran with it. Well earned. They're the angriest band. Like, Kublai Khan did very well, too. They were, I think, second for a decent amount of time, and then Plot and You kind of pulled ahead. Throne did very well. Everyone else is kind of even. Knocked Loose kind of won pretty fast, but like it was pretty balanced otherwise. Baddiecore Song of the Year. Couldn't really stop this. It was just Sleep Token and Spirit Box fighting the whole fucking time. And Attila doing very well, too. Good for Attila. They definitely have components in Baddiecore. Like, they just kind of were before TikTok time, but I think, yeah. Scarlord did pretty well at 2.7. Unity TX did pretty well. Hollywood Undead. Corpse was pretty up there, too. Battles did okay. Yeah. Catchiest Chorus of the Year. This was decently balanced, but I'm pretty sure Bring Me was ahead most of the time. But it was decently distributed. It wasn't that intense. And then Make Them Suffer did very, very well. Followed with that. Again, Silent Planet killed it. Boy What, Neon Tide, Amity. Devil Wears Prada was battling out with Amity most of it. Feels Are Reals. Oh, this one was a wash. Like, I think Heavener deserved that myself. But down here, Love Is Noise, and then From Joy is really cool, but they got a bit of a smaller one. Beartooth did pretty well too. I think Van Anime should have won, but I was just looking at this, like, this one was pretty done pretty fast. I was like, all right. Best Metalhead to Follow was absolutely fucking hilarious because it was just Craig and Brendan fighting the entire time for number one. It was just these two. And I was just like, nice. I just thought it was funny. Elder Emo did super well. Congrats. There's someone I only kind of started following this year, and they're funny as. Fantano did pretty well. Jose did very, very well. And then everyone else, like, not as much. Yeah, Red Herring was after them. Content Creator of the Year. This one was actually very close the entire time with Tank and Jared. This is a bit like, then Jared started to pull ahead a little bit. Tank got robbed. Bradley Hall up here. Finn did very well too. Samus as well, of course. Keem's up here. Stevie T there. Sunfire did pretty well. Poor Chain. Best Metal News Source. This is hilarious. I was dying. I thought r/Metalcore was going to win. They got 21.5% of the fucking votes. I was like, holy fucking r/Metalcore might win this. And then Loudwire started to pull ahead of it. Rockfeed did very well too. And then these two just started to pull ahead a bit more. I'm shocked how well they did. Music Video of the Year was incredibly close between Electric Callboy and Falling in Reverse. Again, this was one I couldn't call until basically the last second. Einstein Kills did very well. Just Pretend, Bad Omens, and then everyone else a little less, like Tesseract, Archspire. Oh, God. This isn't the one I was talking about that I said was a wash. There's actually one later that was a complete hilarious. I can't not put Architects. I can't exclude them. I have to put them. But I had to accept very quickly that putting them in this is going to make this hilarious. Like, I'm sorry, Jesus could have bled this year. And it's just, yeah. I'm sorry to the other bands. Like, he's the bled guy. I really tried to make it as competitive as possible. But the only thing more competitive to Architects and Bleh is a different Architects song. Dude, Brand did incredibly well considering. And so did Jaluka. Claps to them. Jaluka and Brand did incredibly well considering how much Architects just fucking destroyed this category. Breakthrough Band of the Year, very competitive the whole time. Vendit actually was not number one. But then they started sharing intensely, everybody, and people started voting for them more. Their fan base was like about it. And then they came out ahead. So like I know this number is like, 24% versus 12. But they were even as with everybody. I'm very content with this category. I think it was actually really competitive. It's just they shared harder. So well deserved. Good for them. Label of the Year. I love this category because even last year it was so fucking competitive. This Label of the Year is always the most competitive. This was hilarious. Sumerian was, I think, beating Nuclear Blast for most of it, and then Nuclear started to share. But it's pretty even. Like, sorry, Spine Farm. I don't know why more. Dude, Spine Farm did fucking Sleep Token. Yeah, Nick, Sleep Token won all the fucking things they were. No, because Spine Farm is Sleep Token, and they didn't win. So fuck off. I love Spine Farm. They fucking fucking flew me to New York to watch Bullet for My Valentine live and literally asked me for nothing in return. I feel bad that they're down here. They did Sleep Token. Yeah, Arising was there. Better Noise was over there. This was a pretty, I'd say pretty competitive category. Okay, Song of the Year. This was very competitive. Except for Sleep Token. I can't stop it. Like, okay, they didn't sweep, but they won. Otherwise, this was very fucking competitive. Everyone else, like 5%, 6.37, 7.1, 5.9. Like, look at these. Incredibly competitive, which is awesome. But what? I'm really not going to include the song that made the biggest band this year big. Because, again, these are things I thought of as I added these things. Look, I know Sleep Token is big. I know they might kind of sweep this if they're in here. So I have two choices. Do I purposefully not put them in, even though they should be in there and they deserve to be in there, to make it artificially more competitive? Or do I just not involve, like, just put it in, right? Like, that's the choice I had to make. And I'm like, look, I'm not going to purposefully limit a band just because they're too good this year. If they're too good this year, maybe they should win this year. I didn't want them to just sweep. I didn't want it to be the Sleep Token Awards. But I had to make that decision. You know, it's what it is, man. It's what it is. Yeah. Okay, best EP of the year. Guys, I'm not even going to lie. It took 1 hour. This category is done. This was the most unbalanced category I have ever seen. And I tried. I picked fucking banger EPs. That's all I could have done. 57%, man. Yeah, I'm not even joking. Day one, they were at 75%. I was just like, well, they won, I guess. There's nothing I can do. These were all amazing EPs. My favorite EP, honestly, I think is where's Heaven's Gates EP this year. That's my favorite EP. Brand of Sacrifice did a good job. Atreyu did very well too. Good for them. And then Texas in July. This was the by far funniest one to watch because it was like, there's no way. There's no way anyone else is. It doesn't matter. Album of the year. Okay. This wasn't a sweep, but considering Album of the Year had 42 nominations, there was no way to stop it. It was 42 choices. This is 24%. The next was a 6.2. I mean, fucking hell, guys. If we were to exclude Sleep Token, not that bad actually. It was pretty fair. Like Avenged at 6.2. You know, Heavener at 5.7, Polaris at 5.6, Currents at 4.1. There was a lot around 3.5% plus. It was pretty fair. But y'all prayed to the big booty insect goddess. So, yes, I get it. Haha, Sleep Token Awards. I'm not going to not put them up. The one thing I could have avoided is probably maybe just not putting them in the Feels Are Reals category. But Drummer of the Year, dude, fucking damn straight. He's one of the best drummers this year. Album of the Year, obviously. Song of the Year, can't stop it. Vocalist of the Year. So I could have probably, if I wanted to purposefully limit the Sleep Tokenness, I could have probably taken them out of Feels Are Reals. And I feel like if I start doing that, then this is, you know, not really as much like a voted by the fans thing. It's just me limiting bands because I don't want, you know, the big band to win. Metallica was in here too. Metallica had 3.5%. That's the biggest metal band in the world. So there you guys go. Full transparency. Sleep Token just kind of won the year. They dominated. Again, next year I might purposefully just make it so no band can be in more than 3 categories. I might just do that. A similar thing happened with Lorna Shore last year. No matter what, I'm still very happy. I think it was besides some of the sweeps, I'm happiest when it's most competitive. It doesn't feel good when I see one category has fucking 50% of the votes, guys. That's not what I want, right? Like I want it to be very even. And a good chunk of these I think were very even, so I'm happy with that. And, you know, we learn. That's the thing. I think I might just limit it to no band can be nominated for more than 3 categories. And that's it.